Good morning and welcome to Real Estate 360. This is Steve Connolly with...
I am Mr. Jason O. Miles, hashtag the real estate trainer, hashtag
Unemployable.
my man.
And hey, guess what today? We have another really exciting show. You know, we want to give you a lot of insights as to what's happening. You know, we're going to talk about the economy. Mr. Jason O. Miles really wants to talk about this inverted yield curve. I don't know, whatever. But, what's really important is what does it mean to you and what does it mean to me and other people who are real estate and you too. I'm not going to leave you out.
No, please don't. Please.
So,
I need to be in there.
So we're going to talk about trends and opportunities as it relates to the overall economy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we know what the stock market's going to do. We know what the market's going to do. We know what the economy's going to do, right? We know.
Wait a minute.
What?
You sound like Zoltar right now.
Zoltar.
You're going to give us all the answers.
Give me a quarter.
But we need to feed Zoltar.
Okay.
All right.
Well, here's the one thing that we know about the economy. It's and the stock market, all of it. It's going to go up and it's going to go down.
That's right.
So now, what do you do with all that information?
You got to use it, right? You got to utilize the information. But you know what happens under most circumstances is that people start to just panic. You know, there's just panic.
Yeah.
And you have to understand when you're looking at these huge swings in the market, everybody's worried about their money. Yep, us individual guys, the little guys, we're always the last ones in and the last ones out.
Right.
The institutional money is in first and out first. They're the ones that dictate the market. So it's not a matter of panicking. It's understanding which way to go.
Right.
And what to look for.
Exactly. And
That's all.
it's also kind of stepping back a little bit. If you're so close to the action and you're looking, at the minute by minute, say you're watching your daily chart on your stock market and it's going up and down and up and down, you can't really see the big picture.
No.
When you're looking at the one day.
That's right.
Even
if you're looking at a year or even a 10-year, obviously, in the past 10 years, the market has gone up significantly, right?
Yes.
So, but at the same time, you can't expect those kinds of returns to continue. There has to be a market correction.
Absolutely.
And so like you were just talking about that yield curve, we were having this discussion before, the inverted yield curve, which looks like we're on our way to. Yeah. It doesn't mean, head for the hills, get to high ground and protect yourself.
Right.
In some ways, yes, but it means, okay, what strategies are available to me, under these conditions? What else can I do? What is available that will allow me to continue to make money or allow my money to grow passively? Because really that's who we're talking about. We're not talking about day traders.
Right.
We're not talking about any specific industry because it affects all of us.
It does.
But
let's talk about the real estate industry.
Absolutely.
So
even with that,
Yeah. So what's going on in the real estate market right now? Prices are kind of coming down. It's a supply-demand thing. There's a bigger supply. There's less demand.
Yeah.
The interest rates are low. So, but people they're not buying.
They're not buying, they're refinancing. But that has to do with the psychology of the buyers in the market today.
They're afraid.
They are afraid because you also have to remember, these are the 30-somethings that are buying this stuff. These 30-somethings watch their parents and their grandparents go through absolute turmoil during the crisis. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
They did.
So it changes the way people think, the next generation in particular. It changes the way they think. Think about, the children of the people who went through the real depression.
Yeah.
After that, people didn't want to put their money in banks. There was a lot of mattress money out there.
Yeah, but those guys are kind of dropping off the planet. It's been a long time.
Well, absolutely, but it's the mentality, though.
Yeah,
it's the mentality, right? They didn't want to do certain things. They only wanted to invest in things that they knew weren't going to go anywhere, like energy stocks that also paid dividends.
Sure.
And they didn't believe in banks, a lot of them. They just didn't do it. Now, today, you have to have banks.
Yeah,
because,
no kidding.
If you're running around with $1,000 in your pocket, you're subject to questioning. So we're getting really close to a cashless society, which is a whole nother conversation.
So real estate now, what I'm seeing is that there's there's always other forces and other things going on with real estate. We're like kind of the southwest area of Atlanta because of the gentrification, and the value variations are huge.
Yeah.
But there's also big challenges down there with the historic situation, and the city of Atlanta is, let's just say, less than efficient.
Yeah.
And not usually that pleasant to deal with.
That's right. But the community in general as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't want the change that's occurring. I mean, we've seen taxes go on some of the houses that we bought from $400 a year to $3,000 a year.
I was sitting in front of a house. I was doing the thing, with the Waze app, to try to find out where I'm going next. And I'm just sitting in front of this house, and this guy comes out in that community, and I'm just kind of responding to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
He comes out, and he's walking up and down the sidewalk, and he looks agitated, And so he looks over at me and comes up to the car and says, "Can I help you?" I said, "No, I don't think so." I'm like, "No, I don't need any help. I'm just sitting on the street. I'm not in anybody's driveway or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there on the side, just trying to figure out what I'm doing. You've done it."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he said, "Well, you people are down here buying up this neighborhood, and I live right next door to this house." I was looking at the house next door to his. I live right down here, and I don't like it,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, this guy's missing the boat,
Yeah.
I couldn't explain it to him or talk to him because, he had his head full of whatever.
Right.
But man, I'd be like, come on, people, buy this stuff, push the prices up. I've been here. My house has been worth $50,000 forever. Now it's going to be worth $250,000.
That's right.
And so what if it goes down a little bit? And so you have to have your spidey sense on a little bit, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. People can fight change all they want. It's it's going to happen. Obviously, in this country, and all around the world, for that matter, we have a very significant issue as it relates to affordable housing. But the definition of affordable housing is different from city to city, region to region, country to country.
Yes,
when we're looking at situations where, in any major city really around America, and I'm specifically talking about major cities, when you're in the downtown area, 5 miles outside of the center of downtown, it's all expensive all around that downtown area.
Yeah.
Atlanta is one of the only cities that I know of, in major cities in this country that I know of, and I've pretty much been to all of them, where there are parts, if we're looking at Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, on a clock, right? The center is a clock.
Right.
From about 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30 to 9 o'clock, is all still available. It's still all affordable, but that's
Southwest Atlanta.
That's right.
West and Southwest Atlanta.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
if you go a little bit further south, still within the clock, Southeast.
Oh, absolutely. Parts of it, but we know that's changing quite a bit.
Yeah.
And but
I'm talking about the southern part of Southeast.
Southeast.
South.
Yeah. Yeah, Southeast.
Yeah.
But you have to expect that being so close to downtown. But I get it. I get the argument as well. But you can't fight it. Even in our local politics, we have a mayor, and people that are sitting in power positions and leadership positions in our city that want affordable housing. They want to keep this stuff in place.
Right.
They don't want people to be pushed out and displaced, which is understandable. But at the same time, you can't tax the people that live in those communities, $1.5 billion,
right,
and expect them to pay for something that they're never going to be able to afford to live in.
Yeah, you don't want to tax those people out.
But
done. You talked about what California has done, which is
absolutely
put in a proposition resolution,
proposition something or other.
Right.
But California's done it. New York has done it.
Yeah.
And they have had something in place, and they recently redid that.
Yeah.
They restructured those things to make sure that people can live pretty much not wherever they want, but wherever they are.
Yeah.
And stay there at least for some amount of time.
I want to go back to what you were saying, which is, within the city of Atlanta, there are quite a bit of affordable properties at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, with all the influx of the industry and Hollywood in particular, I think, and just all the, you know, there's tons and tons of corporate offices. Everybody talks about Amazon, you know. But, you know, there's IBM, there's Intercontinental Hotels, there's HP, there's
Metropolitan Atlanta.
It's crazy. It's
Metropolitan Atlanta has 13 or 14 Fortune 100 companies headquartered here. They're North American headquarters. You know, that's 14% of the most expensive industries, companies, on the planet are headquartered right here in the metropolitan area.
So my overview point about that is those properties, all of them, are not going to be affordable.
No.
Not for very much longer, you know.
No.
It just doesn't make any sense that they wouldn't be, because people want to be close to where the action is, and that's down, you know, kind of close to downtown Atlanta. Right. And so we're going to do a little bit more Spidey sense thing in a few minutes, and right now we're going to go to a commercial break.
I'm tingling.
We'll Buy Your House. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español. Llámanos. Call us today.
And we are back. And listen, you know, I've been taking the lead a little bit because, you know, Mr. Jason O'Miles has some dental surgery, and you can't tell, but I can. He's on some pretty good meds right now.
I'm feeling
pretty good.
I'm really feeling. What was that? Floating? I'm floating. I'm floating a bit. But I gotta say this real quick.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. If you like the show, and I know you do, and I'm thankful for you listening. I know Steve's thankful for you listening. Everyone here is thankful for you listening. Make sure you go to iTunes or Google Play or Spotify and YouTube. Leave comments. You know, we like to see that. We like to see the engagement. You know, we want to know what you're thinking. It doesn't matter if you love the show or hate the show. You know, if you hate Steve and love Miles, definitely tell me that. You know what I mean? But
and don't tell me. I don't want to know.
But, you know, engage with us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear, what you're interested in. You know, what kind of points that people want to hear, because, you know, we like to think we know what people want to hear, but there's nothing better than to hear it from the people that are listening, because they want to hear it. They know what they want to hear. So share it with us. We want to know. Go to iTunes, go to Spotify, go to YouTube and watch us. You can see how handsome I am.
Right. Well, listen, along those lines, not the handsome part, but the communication part, we were talking about starting a meetup mastermind group with high net worth individuals. And when I say high, I mean 2 million and up.
Right.
And we're going to do that. And so not everybody can get in. You know, you have to have a net worth of like 2 million and up. That's why we're going to call it that. And so I'm going to give you my phone number if you're interested to call me. I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number right now, 678-665-7215.
Easy, man. Can you repeat that?
Yes. 678-665-7215. And listen, if you want to call me about anything else, go ahead, you know. I'll answer the phone. If I can't, you know, maybe I'm in the shower. I can't always. That's why they have voicemail, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get more into.
So I got to know though. What?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you more about that.
Yeah.
Listen, Napoleon Hill wrote a book a while back called "Think and Grow Rich." Mm-hmm. It didn't say go get 3 jobs, save your money, and get rich. It said think and grow rich. Mm-hmm. And in that book, he says specifically, 2 minds creates a third more powerful mind.
Right.
And, you know, you and I see that all the time.
Right.
We see, you know, I'll say this, you'll say that, and then all of a sudden something else will come in. So along those lines, we want, we want to get more big thinkers together to create, you know, more third minds, basically. Right. That's pretty much it. And I'm seeing opportunity everywhere. And I'm not talking about just real estate, but just, you know, things that are opening up. Hang on, I can't read this.
So that says want is the only prerequisite to get what you want.
Okay, good.
It just means that you have to want it, and you really have to want it bad. Now, how that's relevant here is we're talking about people of a certain net worth, $2 million or greater, right? Now, it doesn't matter if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, or if you're an employee of some other corporation with that kind of net worth. The reality of it is you're always concerned with preserving your capital, but growing it at the same time and growing it safely. Mm-hmm. Some people are a little more aggressive than others, but knowing what your options are will give you the ability to go ahead and do the things that you want to do. A lot of people simply just don't know what their options are. A lot of people put their money into CDs because they have no idea where else to put it. You know, what is the purpose of keeping your money in a money market account or a savings account?
It's fear.
It is fear. It's fear of losing.
That's right.
Right?
So the purpose is to alleviate the fear.
Exactly. And there are so many options and opportunities out there. You simply have to be aware of them. Yeah. And I think that's the whole purpose of this group.
Exactly. And by the way, you know, what we have learned and found out is that if you look around and you look at your 5 best friends and what they're earning, you're going to be earning about what they're earning. Mm-hmm. So in order to stretch beyond that, you need a different set of people to hang with.
That's exactly right.
I've got 5 people already, you know, lined up for this group. So it's just not going to be you, me, and Miles, you know, whoever you are out there.
Right.
It's, you know, I've got quite a few, you know, contacts in that range. And, hey, we're all looking to improve. We're looking to up the game. Mm-hmm. I remember a story from Anthony Robbins who was talking to this guy. He said, man, I'm only at like $20 million a month or a year or something. I can't remember. A year maybe.
It's a rough life.
I know, terrible. And he said, well, and the first thing Anthony says, well, who are you? What's your mentor group look like? And specifically, he said, who are the people that you meet with once a week? And what are their ranges? And it was like 0, you know, or whatever, a couple million to 20 million. So that was at the top. He said, well, you got to get another group. You know, you got to get one where they're 100 million. And he joined a $100 million group, and he almost immediately doubled what he was making. So, and listen, I'm ad-libbing because I don't remember the specific numbers. Right.
But that's true, though,
that's
Steve.
the idea.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, when you're around, let's take it back to energy. When you're around that energy and people that are vibrating on a certain frequency, you have no choice but to fall in line with that frequency, or you're going to, you know, fall off. Right. You're going to be gone, you know, away from that frequency because your frequency is what it is and it doesn't align with what everyone else is.
And this group is not going to be open to everybody. You know, you got to qualify, and it's going to be $100 a month. If $100 is a challenge, you know, you're probably not worth it.
I mean, there are mastermind groups out here that are charging, you know, enormous amounts of money plus a monthly membership fee, which is
thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Thousands of dollars.
Exactly. I mean, there's
and
one.
it's worth it.
It is worth it.
And the $100 is a nominal fee.
It's nothing.
Just to kick things off, you know.
That's nothing. I mean, and it's not just saying that because we want $100 from people. That's not what it is at all. It's simply saying that there is a value to what is offered. And everyone should value everyone for what's being offered.
Yeah.
Period. And what you can offer.
Exactly.
And outside of that, then what's the purpose? There's no purpose. We're here to all do better, right? And if we're going to argue about Happy Meal money, you know, that's not the group we want to be in.
I was at McDonald's on my way back from Florida Monday, and I'm in line. You know, I've got this abundance thing going right now. I'm just like, wow. I just feel fantastic, you know. And I'm in line, and this guy's kind of in line with, he's on his cell phone and stuff. And so I order, you know, my little whatever. And the lady said, oh, that guy right there just paid for your breakfast. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, cool, you know. And I said, are you paying it forward? He said, yep. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm under the gun now. I've got to pay it forward.
That's right.
You know.
But that's what we got to do, man. I mean, those little small acts of kindness that show you that there are people out there that think like you and a lot of the others. And does it happen every day? I mean, not to us every day, but it does happen every day.
And, you know, we have that thing that we put on the graphic that you made. I think I came up with it or heard it or something. In order to get hit by the money train, you have to stand on the tracks.
And that was your saying. I just made a graphic.
Yeah, and you made a great graphic. That's pretty cool. So So we need to, but we also need to, stick with the Spidey sense thing, and make sure we're standing back.
Oh my goodness!
And
you would never cease to amaze me.
Wide views. I've been throwing these little clues out there. That
I thought you watched the movie last night.
Yeah, I know you did probably. So you get your Spidey glasses on and get out there and start looking around, and things will start to show up. And join the mastermind group. We're going to have a seminar coming up too that we'll talk about in segment 4.
But in preparation for that group and in preparation for anything else that you guys do out there, and I know we're kind of off topic, but it's really not. It's about real estate. It's about whatever it is you do in your daily life. Your mindset is most important. Stop telling yourself how hard things are. Stop telling yourself you can't do this. Stop telling yourself all that negative stuff.
Right.
Just believe it's going to get done. You don't have to even know how it's going to get done. Just believe, just know. And you have to know it. It has to be literally in your DNA. You got to know it. I don't know how.
And stop listening to the negative news. Yes, things are going up and things are going down.
They always do.
You know what? It's the volatility that creates the opportunities,
right.
So we've got people that have gotten into real estate that we've known about, or maybe we've sold them houses and they get frustrated because of the permitting process or whatever. And every moment of every day, there's somebody that needs help with real estate. They need to sell. They need to buy. They need to finance. They need something. So all this volatility just does nothing but one thing. It creates opportunity.
And everybody that's listening to this has lived through that already.
Yeah.
When we talk about transition phases,
yeah.
We're talking about most recently what happened in our recent recession, which we started to see in 07, 08, but everyone else started to feel it in 9 and 10.
Right.
And that's when, people had all kind of different names for it. We saw super, super wealthy people that would never touch single families start buying up single families en masse.
Right.
Right. But that was the transfer. That was the transition. That's when we were looking at all this money that was in the market. People started to lose it, but it was the opportunity for people that did have a little bit of money, and not just the super wealthy went in and bought everything up. People that knew how to get in and navigate through that storm made a ton of money.
And they're cashing in, and they've been cashing in for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But listen, if you need to, get onto YouTube and see what Spidey Sense looks like.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
and we are going to have our super realtor, Sammy Hadid, on in the next segment. He's going to talk about
Habibi.
Yeah, man. And he's going to talk about real estate trends and, using him as a realtor because he's amazing.
Absolutely.
Guy,
Absolutely.
We don't always agree. It's Sammy and I.
Well, does anyone always agree on everything?
Right. But, you can't have the tail wagging the dog. Right?
That's for sure.
That doesn't work.
That's for sure. All right, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833willbuy.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Welcome back again to Real Estate 360. Steve Connolly and
Jason Miles and
Sammy Hadid, superstar realtor.
All right.
As always, it's a pleasure to be with you, gentlemen. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to sell real estate.
So I got to tell you, I have a million questions for you, Sammy. I know we have a little bit of time, but I know that Steve has some questions as well.
Yes,
so
I do.
I would actually like to start there.
Fire away,
and that way I can kind of just slide in the ones that I have.
Oh, you want me to
as
ask?
they're relevant.
You want me to start asking them questions?
Yeah. Because I want mine to be relevant in relation to the direction of the conversation and not get off topic.
Well, really, I'd like for Sammy to talk about Sammy.
All right.
And what makes him the unique realtor that he is. Can you do that?
Oh, you mean talk about myself in a positive manner?
Yes, of course.
I guess
Start at the beginning. You were born by the river in a little tent.
Oh yeah, a little van down there. You know, yeah, life was rough, but we pulled through. Yeah, actually, born and raised here in Atlanta, and an ATLian local native. Baby.
You don't meet many of them anymore.
Oh, I'm so proud to say that. I'm so proud of this city, and this city has always been cool, and it's only getting cooler and cooler right
That's
now.
right.
Well, not the weather, of course.
Yeah,
but,
we're gonna have a heat wave.
The energy around it, of course, has been amazing. Yeah, so I love Atlanta, and I went to the University of Georgia as well. So local all around. UGA, baby. Oh, yeah. National champions this year, actually.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
That's what's up.
And then after that, I was in entertainment. I did stand-up comedy for years, which was wonderful. And then after that, I was an actor for a long time, and I'm still an actor to this day when something wonderful pops up.
So speaking of the entertainment piece, you have to tell people what we were doing together before you lost all the weight.
What we were doing together.
Is it a secret? Can I go ahead and just break the secret? Can I let it out?
I'm dying to know, please.
So Sammy and I are the founders of the Chunkendales. And he doesn't like to admit it, but he and I had a stint out in Vegas for a year or so, and we started the Chunkendales. And then, he lost weight and kind of broke up the duo.
All good things come to an end. Although I will say Jason was the most popular part of the show.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot to hug.
Still got the moves, baby.
Yeah, that was in there. That was part of my life as well.
Allow me to bring the conversation back to real estate. Now, listen, the reason that Sammy's on the show here is because he is a go beyond realtor. And, you know, his language reveals who he is. At one of the other shows that we had, you said something like, I will protect your property with my life.
Yes.
And that's a holy moly, that's a pretty strong statement.
Well, we've witnessed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
And that is something I genuinely believe in. It's our job out there to go out and help our sellers not only get their properties sold, but to make sure that nobody takes advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody even being, buyer's agents sometimes. Buyer's agent will send you an inspection report and ask for $15,000 off for nonsense.
Yeah.
It's my job to protect my seller to make sure that they're not being taken advantage of.
That's right. One of those things that I really like how you do, what you do, is when we do get a contract on the property and the inspection report comes back in particular, I really like how you go through that with the buyer's agent, and you go, there might be 50 things on there, and then you go say, okay, what can your client live with?
Yes.
And what can they not, live with without having done?
Oh, absolutely.
Specifically on that one property we had on Inman.
Yeah.
Beautiful property, by the way. They did a phenomenal job renovating it.
Miles, you did a fantastic job.
I was, That
was beautiful. Talent. Brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are making me feel some kind of way.
So there was an issue there, and Sammy says, well, why don't you guys just give a credit?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was like, duh.
That credit, that was $1,000 credit, by the way, on something that would have probably cost us $6,000 or $7,000 to fix. Could have.
Absolutely. My job is to make the seller's life easier.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I'll always say is, why don't we throw out an amount just so you don't have to deal with contractors and worry about getting these repairs done and having it re-inspected. It's a total headache.
Mm-hmm. So
my first suggestion will always be to, let's contribute a little bit of money to closing costs or things of that nature. But in the sense where something has to be done, I will go through it and only suggest to my seller things that are musts, as opposed to all these little ticky-tack things that a lot of buyer's agents like to bring out.
I think that's great. And thank you for that. I don't know how you put those services together, or the process, I should say, but it really works. So my next question is this. We spoke last time you were here about, what you were seeing and how you were navigating through some of those things. And since that time, knowing that there have been obviously some changes going on.
Yes.
Can you explain about what those changes are and how you have tailored or further tailored your process to accommodate the needs of the buying and selling public?
Certainly, absolutely. So I'm more than happy to, sir. More than happy. So right now in the market, as you have mentioned a couple times during the show, there is a decrease now. I'm seeing properties just maybe 10 minutes away from Ponce City Market, where 8 months ago they would have sold for $275,000, no problem, sold over the weekend. Now they're being reduced to as low as maybe $235,000 to $245,000, and these are renovated properties.
And are they selling in a weekend even at the lower price?
No, they're just continuing to sit. I actually took a buyer out in that area recently, and the minute she hearted somebody through the portal, which if you're a buyer, I can make your life so much easier. She hearted it through the portal, which means she liked it.
Okay.
And immediately, and I kid you not, within a couple hours, I get an email from the listing agent telling me that his seller is super motivated and saw that my buyer had liked the property. Right away, letting me know that they're willing to take more of a cut on the price just to get it sold. And these are renovated houses 10 minutes from Atlanta that you can Airbnb and make your money back, no problem. You know, so there is a change, and I think it's only going to get better for buyers in the future because, as you mentioned, the interest rates are so low, and at the same time, we're coming into an election year, which means historically prices will come down even more.
That's correct. So, and that's for that point right there for the investors that are listening or anybody that's going to be selling a property in the upcoming months. You need to really prepare yourself for that. If you're buying properties right now to renovate and wholesale, you really, really, really need to make very, very conservative offers because where the prices are today are not going to be where they are in 6 months.
Not at all.
And you need to prepare yourself for that. Do not pay too much. Be as aggressive on the downside as you can possibly be as a buyer. Make sure you're doing everything you can to control your costs and timelines for your renovation and get that thing listed at what will be a very competitive price in, the next 3, 6, 9 months. Because if you're not, you're going to be overpriced and you're going to be sitting there trying to figure out, what you need to do.
Sammy, you've already, sold me on you, of course, just during the show. So tell everybody now how they get in touch with you because I'd like for you to get that in twice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a good idea.
If you'd like to get in touch with me, I'm always available to you. And as we've mentioned, I will protect you with my life.
Well, now,
maybe jump in front of the bullet.
Or do you mean the real estate?
I carry 2 guns with me all the time, baby. One to the right, one to the left, right? You want to get a hold of me, please call me on my cell. 305-978-4249 is my cell. If I don't answer, please leave a voicemail.
I'm sorry, what was that number?
Again, 305.
305.
Yes, Miami number. They don't make those anymore, and I'm not getting rid of it.
That's right.
305-978-4249 is my cell. And, of course, you can find me on Google as well. Google Sammy Hadid Real Estate. Look over some of my reviews.
Spell that.
Sammy Hadid Real Estate. SAMMYHADID Real Estate.
And you're on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff as well.
Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. Sammy Hadid Real Estate on Instagram. And, of course, just look up Sammy Hadid on Facebook, and I'll pop up there as well.
I like your stuff on Instagram and Facebook. Your videos are entertaining.
I try to. Real estate can be boring sometimes, so it's important to interject
it's good to have
humor,
a twist, man.
Like you guys,
It's good to have a twist.
Absolutely. Real estate doesn't have to be a drag all the time, especially if things are slow.
A little marketing thing. I didn't know that you were a stand-up comedian for a while.
You didn't know? What am I?
No.
I'm a clown. I'm a funny guy.
No idea.
Did I make you laugh?
No.
What do I amuse you?
Well, this guy I know who's a mentor, was helping a guy who was selling credit card processing, boring, right? Found out he was a stand-up comedian. He said, stop talking about the credit card stuff at networking meetings. Just stand up and tell a joke. And he did. His business went through the roof.
Yeah. Because it's about being personable, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Being personable. Whatever can go wrong in real estate always goes wrong. So it's important that you have a realtor that just kind of takes it with you, can kind of make it a little lighter, and just can reassure that the property is going to handle itself, that it's going to get closed. Because, of course, if my name is in front of a house and it doesn't close, I take that very, very much to heart, very personally, because that's an opportunity that I didn't take advantage of. So I'm very proud to say that the properties that I take on, I am always truthful, and that they always do sell, with the exception that you won't see my name next to a lot of expires or withdrawals at all.
Which is solid. So
that's powerful. Say that again.
It is.
Say that one more time.
You will not see my name in front of houses that have expired or withdrawn, because I do everything possible in regards to communication to get the property sold, to keep my sellers informed of what's going on in the market.
So you're a full-time realtor. You're not one of the 98% of the realtors out there that are sort of weekend realtors.
No, I'm a full-time realtor. I'm not married yet, so work is my true love. And like I said, I enjoy doing it, especially with people that are as pleasant as you guys, of course, right? And make you blush.
Sammy had the most eligible realtor bachelor in Atlanta.
Yeah, baby.
So real quickly, what should sellers be doing right now with what they have now in terms of being competitive in the market?
Okay, so the biggest mistake sellers are making now is they're pricing their properties based on comps from 6 months ago to a year ago, but they have to understand that the market is coming down.
About 20%?
I would say at least 15 at the moment. So don't live in the past and price it accordingly. Please don't do that. You're going to sit on the market so long. Please. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. You know, if you knock it off 20%, again, we're talking about being conservative. It was 300 8 months ago.
Right. You know, 275. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's cut for a break.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Okay, welcome back. Real Estate 360 and Steve Connolly and Jason O. Miles and
Sammy Hadid, superstar real estate.
Superstar.
So we decided to keep him on, for another segment. So we
actually he forced us to.
Yeah,
well,
he held us hostage with those guns of his.
That's right.
You don't want any more broken teeth, do you, Jason?
No, please no. So you just have to talk about it to me. I'm afraid you win.
Yeah, baby, check those out. Pythons.
So, we've been talking about trends, and what Sammy brought to the table in the last segment was, pretty much consistent with what we've been talking about. There's trends. The market goes up, the market goes down, and it's just recognizing those opportunities.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when we talk about trends, again, to go back to what we talked about earlier in this show, people lose their minds when change of this type occur. And it's not about being uncomfortable. It's about, as you just said, it's about recognizing it and shifting your mindset towards whatever it is, whatever the energy is that's going on.
I said something earlier that this is kind of a fear-based business, and I started thinking about that. It's really a fear-based economy. I mean, everything, people react to the slightest little thing, with, oh God, I got to sell. Got to buy. But if you step back and just take some deep breaths, and then you'll just see all the opportunities. You won't be so focused on loss.
That's right. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it really is as simple as that. It's that mindset. It's just not getting overwhelmed by what's going on.
I'm not saying I'm immune to that, because I've certainly experienced all of that.
Yeah.
Back in 2010, I had kind of stepped out of the market, the real estate market, because I didn't see an opportunity for a moment. And this guy calls me up and says, "Hey, Steve, you should be buying some houses right now." I said, "Really? Why?" I didn't know. It was weird. And I'm an investor. I've been doing this for a long time. He said, "Well, there's some really good deals out there, and there's some buyers." Now, that's what I didn't know. I said, "There's really buyers out there for this stuff?"
They came back?
Yeah, they came, right. He said, "There are fewer and further between, but they're there." So I said, I started looking. I'm going to tell you a little story about this house, I started looking online, and I found one that looked pretty good online through a realtor. And, it was an older house, but everything inside was brand new. The new kitchen. I don't think I've told this story before, but it's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
New kitchen, new bathrooms, new carpet, new paint, new roof. Yes, the house was built in the 60s, but wow, it needed a new range. That's it. Wow. Nice little neighborhood, kind of quiet. So I put an offer in. I saw it online. I said, price looks good. I'll tell you the price in a minute. And it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car, carport, nice little flat, level lot, good house for a family, something you'd want to live in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put my offer in full price, and the bank accepted it, and you know, $1,000 down and so forth, and so they accepted the offer, and I said, wow, I guess I better go look at this.
Because you hadn't even looked at it yet.
No, not
you haven't
really.
been there. You didn't put your toes in the dirt yet.
I want to go see. Now, you know, you got to verify things that you see on the internet because you can't always, you know, believe it.
Right.
You know,
That's
you
for
know,
sure.
might be some French guy that's not really French.
That's right.
And
We doesn't mean hello.
that's right. Bonjour. Anyway, so I drove down and looked at this house, and I'm thinking, open the front door. Look at the roof's brand new. Open the door. New carpet, new paint, new, just like it is pictured. And I said, wow, this is fantastic. Now the question is, it's probably 1,800 square feet, decent size. How much did I pay for that?
What year? 2010?
How much did I write the contract for?
2010?
2010, yeah.
I don't know. 25,000?
That'd be a good number. And you know, I did a few of those at 25 too. This one was $18,000.
Oh my gosh!
Specifically $18,200.
Wow.
Oh, for a house.
I'm looking at it and I said, holy moly, there's more than that in the renovation cost. You know, just the renovation.
Yeah.
So I said, I walked out on the front porch and I just said, yes. Heck yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I had nothing. I had no buyers. I had no list. I had no marketing. I had nothing because, you know, I'd stepped out for a minute.
Yeah.
And the guy said, get back. So I walked over. I did go to swing by Home Depot and picked up one of those for sale by owner signs. I put my number on it, stuck it in the front yard as just a symbol,
Right.
you know,
Right.
really, of more than anything else.
I'm back.
And then So I said, you know, I'm doing this. Don't know how exactly, but you know.
Yeah.
So 2 days later, this guy calls me up out of the blue. I hadn't heard from him for 5 years. He said, I'm looking for a house, and you know, down on the south side. You know, I'm thinking, okay, hesitate for a minute. I said, well, you know, I think I've got one that you'll like. And no, I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. I said, meet me down there tomorrow. And he gave me. I said, look. We negotiated a little bit. I said, I need cash now. And 1-800-CASH now.
That's right.
I need cash now.
TM.
Yeah. Right. And I said, for that, I will give you a heck of a deal on this house. You know. And so he ended up owning that thing for like $21,000.
Wow.
He said, go meet me at my office, handed me cash, reached into his tweed jacket, pulled out an envelope, handed me cash for the contract to that house. So I sold the contract to him.
Done
Just
deal.
like that.
Done deal.
The point was, it was 09 and 010. It was 010. It was 2010. And supposedly there's no buyers in 2010, but you know what? There's always buyers.
That's right.
There's always sellers. There's always houses.
So that's right. And it worked out. Obviously, it was the beginning of what we're doing today.
Yeah.
9 years later.
Yep.
You know, and really that's all it takes. It's
I didn't mean to take up so much.
No, that's a great story. I mean, that's a perfect story. It had all the elements of everything we talked about today. You don't know, you didn't have all this stuff, you just acted. You didn't know how it was going to happen, but it happened. You needed cash, and it came.
That's right.
You know, and the buyer
What was that
came.
saying that your phone says over there? You know, desire is the only prerequisite.
Want is the only prerequisite to get what you want.
Right. Now, the other point to that was it came from a realtor. You know,
Yeah.
realtors are a great resources. The guys that understand investing.
Now, Sammy, do you ever wind up with pocket listings? Because that's, you know, every investor wants to work with an agent that, you know, can get or has pocket listings.
You know, the pocket listings, I'm not genuinely a fan of. Just because, again, my obligation is usually to my sellers, and if it's a pocket listing, then it's not getting
The most
maximum
money.
exposure, you know, from people who are qualified. So when it comes to that, I really would prefer to put it on the open market, just so you have all the options for people to come and purchase it. And not to mention, real estate agents aren't looking for pocket listings. You know, they're more so looking for listings that are listed, because that's what they have access to.
So maybe I asked you the question in the wrong manner.
Sure.
Do you ever wind up with properties that you say, these people are asking this much. I think I might know someone who might be interested in that, and then reach out to people that you work with?
Absolutely. When I'm cold calling all morning long, I do come across properties that are very fairly priced, especially when I'm calling for sale by owners.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all for sale by owners want is a buyer. They'll tell you that about 10 times during the phone call. Just in case you didn't hear the first time. Of course, I have people like yourselves and other people that are looking for opportunities to renovate properties. So I said, if it's priced correctly and it looks like it looks, then I'll bring somebody by in order to negotiate an offer with you. Absolutely. Anytime there's an opportunity like that. I have a few people that I very much respect, and they've done work with me in the past, so I do want to loop them in on any opportunity that I see when I'm out there in the field.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know that, we've done that a few times.
Oh,
and I just, and all 3 times were good opportunities for us. They were really good opportunities.
And that makes me happy, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
And the other part of that is, having a realtor on your team, or anybody, but specifically realtors, because they bring a new perspective. Because you're just talking about this property over near on Ponce or near Ponce.
Right.
Great area. Oh, my gosh.
Fantastic area.
And so you said, hey, you can buy this and Airbnb it.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, my gosh. I had a seller that we closed with this past Friday, and he could have put on a tutorial. He had bought this little duplex on English Avenue for probably like $25,000 2 years ago, right? Put a minimal amount of money just to make it livable, right? Probably like $15,000 maybe. So he's in it for $40,000. Airbnb's the property for like 2 years for $100 a weekend, depending on the event, $200 a weekend, whatever.
5,000,
Super Bowl, yeah. Oh man, and as bad as a condition that I saw it in when I walked in, he was like, "Yeah, it's filled every weekend." I'm like, "You must be joking." And the best part about it is we closed for $150,000. So he Airbnb'd it for 2 years. Made a bunch of money,
right,
and then sold it for even more money at the end of the
Incredible.
tenure. Yeah, amazing on English Avenue. I mean, and this was not that great a looking duplex. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, it didn't look that good. So there's a lot of opportunities right now, and if you're a buyer with some money, this upcoming year is probably going to be one of the best years to buy in probably like 10 years.
I agree, and I think that'll lead into 2021 as well.
Oh. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling all the people that I know that have some money, if they're renting, they're thinking about buying, this is the year that you want to do it, this upcoming year.
So really
throw out your contact information again real quick.
I'd be more than happy to. Yeah. Thank you. My number is 305, baby, 978-4249. Again, if you have any questions, buying or selling, if you're a flipper and you want me to send you what I believe a property would sell for if it's renovated, you want some ideas about the renovation, what around it has sold for top dollar, pictures, anything I can do to help you, please call me, 305-978-4249.
And one more quick thing before the end here. We have another seminar, Success in Your First 30 Days, October the 19th, realestate360show.com for more information.
You got to go there, guys. Thanks for listening and watching. Talk to you soon.
Peace.